What is going on, people? Tunji again from Ceasar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will be notified when I post my tutorial. Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to use background in your design project. Okay, so without any further ado, let's jump into today's tutorial. All right, so before we dive into my slide, okay, I need to let you guys understand some basic things about using background. So if you're using a background, all right, one of the things you need to put in place is you need to help your viewers. All right, so you need to get something that won't kill the information that you are placing on your background. Okay, so when your background is too busy, it won't make people trust your project. All right, it won't make people spend time on your design. And I have this little illustration I always give to my students. Okay, I have these two images I'm going to put up for you guys now to see. I have this this gravity image here, and I have this image with a drawing on the wall. Imagine if I want to have a business deal with you and I say, okay, can you come to my office so we can have a meeting? And the image you see on my wall is this type of image right here. Okay, I'm sure you don't need anybody to tell you that you need to be careful with me. Okay, but imagine if I have this type of image on my wall. I'm sure you be the one to even tell me, okay, bro, you know what, I think it's nice if I work together with you. Okay, so that's how it is when you use background on your project. Okay, and that is why it is called background. Is that like the first thing that will, you know, push the look of your design to look more attractive to the eye. Okay, so let's jump straight to my next slide here. All right, so we have background. So I have it here that your background must not be too busy. All right, when your background is too busy, the most important information on your design will be hard to see. So people always find it difficult to read information on busy background. Okay, so I have my first sample of a busy background here. You see we have people walking left to right and so on. So placing information on this type of background may be a little bit difficult, although you can still use it on your project, but you now need to do some little tweaking, like add a shape or a shadow to your text, or add borders around your text before you will be able to use this type of background. So I have another background here. This is another busy background that I would advise to don't just put your information on it. All right, so I have this design here that I got from Google. All right, and this is a very busy background, and I don't know who designed this. I just got it from Google image. So you know, as you can see now, you see the effect on the tree on our background here is killing the information on the book cover. In fact, I can hardly see the name of the writer here, so I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So when your background is too busy, it makes your viewer find it difficult to read the information on your design. So I'll go straight to my next slide that says use less design elements. Okay, so I said that here that if you're working on a project with background that has too many activities, avoid using too many design elements. All right, so I see most of us make this mistake of, you know, when we have backgrounds that have too many effects on it, we end up adding other elements to it. All right, so the idea is not for you to add but to subtract. All right, so don't add too many information when your background is already busy. As you can see, my background is busy, and you know, the designer here did not do any good job here. You know, the drawing of the circle, the shape here, the effect on the text and everything is making the design look too heavy. All right, so like I said, do not add too many information on your busy background. It kills the design. All right, it will kill your design. So if I go next to my this is my next slide here. Now you can see I already I have this effect right here on my background, which is too much. All right, this is too much for this design, and you know, the design still end up adding, you know, shapes, sphere and so on, you know. So you know, all these things always make design look too busy. All right, it gets people confused when they're looking at your design. So like I said earlier, the goal is not for you to add but to subtract. All right, so don't add too many information when your background is already busy. So let's go straight to my next slide that says placing content on a busy background. All right, so I said if you're placing an image or text on a busy background, place it on a shape, all right, shadow, or put a stroke around it so as to separate it from the background. So I have this example here of this beautiful looking artwork here. Now, as you can see, if we don't have this shape at the back of this information here, I'm sure it will be difficult for us to read the information on this design. All right, so the effect here, this grungy looking shape here, separates the information from the background. All right, so let's go to our next slide, which is another beautiful looking design here. Now, as you can see, the background is looking too busy and we have less information added to it. Okay, so if you look at where we have the theme of this design, all right, you notice is on a disc here. All right, so if we don't have this and then we just put the information on it, people will find it difficult to read. All right, so this wood plate here is what separated this theme from the background. All right, and as you can see, because the background is already looking too busy, we don't have too many information on it. We don't have too many additional things on it. All right, so when your background is too busy, I'm repeating it again, avoid adding more content to it. So let's go straight to our next slide. I said creating a background. When creating a background, create the space where your text will be embedded. This space should have less content. Okay, so this is I did a design for a client recently, and it's more of a party-like kind of thing. So if you look at my background, I have this effect around here. Now, if I don't put this stuff here and I start putting text on it, the audience will find it difficult to read words on it. Okay, so that's it. So like I said, always have where you're going to put your information and where you're going to put your images. So if you look at this, my design here, so this part here is where I created for the images, and then this one here is where I'm adding my text. And as you can see, I try as much as possible not to allow anything affect that portion. All right, now as you can see that where I'm putting my images is more brighter than where I'm putting my text, because I know my text is going to be having two different colors. So I decided to use I decided to make that portion a little bit brighter. But the part where I'm going to put my images, I decided to make that place brighter so as to separate my image from the background. So if I go to my next slide now, I'll take you. That takes us next to the already designed artwork. So as you can see, what I was trying to say previously, you notice that where I have my images now, because I have this effect on the background, it separated my my images from the background. And then if you look at where I have my text, like I said earlier, you notice that the color of that background is not as bright as the one on my image. All right, so if I have this shade of color right here, you realize that if I put my text on it, it will be difficult for that white text to come out visible. Although it will come out, people will be able to see it, but it won't be as visible as the way we have it now. So I'm sure you get the idea. Then to my next slide, I said color of your subject. So I said the color of your subject should determine your background color. I'm going to advise you go to my how to use color video. The only way they can make this stand out from the background is to use color that works well with it. So I'm sure the color they use here is the triadic color harmony. When you're placing an item on your background, the color you are using on your background should not kill the color of the subject. I would advise you watch that, because I realize that most of we designers hardly we don't understand this. All right, make sure that you don't use any color that doesn't go with the color of your subject. When you do that, it will make your design look attractive to the eye. So I would advise you watch my how to use color video so you understand the type of color you're going to use on your background when you're placing a particular content. So I have another design here. Now this is another cool design that I got from Pinterest. All right, and the color used here is called the analog color. Okay, so as you can see, the color on this on the background here was gotten from this products here. So the lighter shade of the color here is what you're looking at on the background here. So like I said, the color you use on your background matters a lot when you're putting anything on your design. All right, so you don't just use any color. Make sure you know the color of your subject. Use a color that will go with the background of that subject. So let's go straight to our next slide. So I say here that the background color, I say the color of your background should determine the color on your project. Now I see most of we designers make this mistake of, when we are working on the project, when we get a background that we like, we always forget that we need to make sure that when we're adding color to our text, the color on our text should go with the color of our background. So I'm going to go to the next slide so you get what I'm saying. Now look at this beautiful looking movie poster that I got from Pinterest. You know, we have this orange, red, and then this blue color here. All right, now the color harmony used here is called the triadic color harmony. The title of the movie is similar to the color used here, and because the designer here understands the use of color, the color stands out on the gorilla. So what I'm trying to say in essence here is that you need to understand the color of your background before applying any color to your project, so as to make your design pop. All right, so let's go straight to our next design. This is another beautiful looking design that I love so much. All right, so the color used here is the complementary color harmony. The use of the color here make this design look more rich and nice. All right, so I would advise you go watch the how to use colors, so you understand how to, you know, use the right color on your background when you're working on any design project. Okay, and yeah, okay, so I want to thank you guys for watching today's tutorial again, and I'm going to be doing more tutorials on how to use background. Okay, so if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would advise you do so right now, so you won't miss this opportunity. And don't forget to ring the bell so you'll be notified when I post the tutorial. Okay, and please, if you come up with any design with the help of this tutorial, kindly post it on your Instagram page and tag me so as to encourage me. So I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Peace.